वेलकम टू माय चैनल गेम Lunatic। और आज हम देख रहे हैं टीचर अप्रिसिएशन सेलिब्रेशन का थर्ड पार्ट। सो लेट्स गो एंड प्ले चेस विद प्रोफेसर McGonagall in the transfiguration classroom. So Professor, you wanted to play some more of our game before we did our interview, and now it's progressed. So how am I doing? I must say I'm surprised by your most recent move. Why? That was to be my question. You moved your rook, then clearly just sacrificed your pawn, did you not? Perhaps I did, but I have learned sometimes it takes sacrifices to get what you want. And what exactly do you want in this moment? Well, to nurture our relationship. What I want is to nurture our relationship over this game of wizard chess. A kind goal and a worthy one. I applaud you for that. I'm so pleased. Though I'm still perplexed if your strategy to lose to learn more about me. Because that would be quite disappointing. I thought it might help you share a bit more if you were winning. But should have remembered Madam Hooch saying you quite enjoy honest competition as well. I see you have been talking about me with my peers and possibly even using information you have learned from them to guide you in our game. It's true, but I can explain. I think that would be best. Oh, तो इस क्वेस्ट पे हमें चेस खेलना है प्रोफेसर मैकगोनागल के साथ 3 आवर्स के अंदर। तो चलो शुरू करते हैं, लेट्स गो। So you see, I only talk to your peers and friends as a way to get to know you. And I learned quite a bit. It's wise to get to know your opponent. I'm just trying so hard not to disappoint you, Professor. Then play honestly and wisely. I assure you, I want to see you do your best always. But you spend a lot of time worrying about what's to come. Thinking about your brother, chasing curses, making foolish mistakes in the game we are playing here and now because you are worried about our next interview. I suppose you are right about that. Sincerely, I'm glad you agree. The best way to learn is to focus on the present rather than getting caught in the past or what to come next. Oh, I understand, Professor. By doing that today, you have put yourself in a corner in our game. Is that so? Blimey, I hope I can get out of it. Fret not, there is always a path forward, and I am quite enjoying our talks. But the way to earn my respect is to show me you respect the game. No more needless sacrifices. I understand. Thank you, Professor. Promise me you will do your best. Consider your next move wisely, and we will talk about again soon. Part 2 is completed. Celebration of Hogwarts Teachers का Part 3. Professor Snape and Headmaster Dumbledore help with your presentation at your wizard chess game with Professor McGonagall. The next stop is potion class. The interview with Professor Snape. Let's see Professor Snape को क्या कहना है Professor McGonagall के बारे में। तो चलो शुरू करते हैं पोशन क्लासरूम में। Hi Penny. I'm telling you, Penny, it's like Professor McGonagall knows something about everything. When we are playing chess, it's like she can read my every move. She is just so wise and magical. She is both those things, Autumn. You knew that before you even started the teacher appreciation interview. and I am still not sure what I will say in my presentation, but it has to be good as she's awesome. Well, you are definitely making progress by interviewing the teachers and playing with the chess with her. Didn't she tell you that getting to know your opponent is a good strategy? Well, that's exactly what you're doing. You're right, Penny. But McGonagall also told me I have trouble staying patient. Wise words indeed, Ray. So why don't you focus on the task at hand, which is reviewing our Wiggenweld potion? Professor Snape, I feel like you always somehow sneak up on me. How could I sneak up on you in my own classroom? Unless, of course, your head was somewhere else, like Professor McGonagall suggested. Yes, Professor. The potion, Ray, need I remind you, the last time you made the concussion, it was merely passable. Professor Snape has got a point. So let's focus on the present, like Professor McGonagall suggested. Alright, Penny, let's review this potion. Okay, ये टैक्स हमें 1 hour में ख़त्म करना है. So let's get it. Let's review Wiggenweld potion. Okay, the brew is done. Now we just have to wait for it to cool and then the potion is ready. Are you sure it's supposed to turn that turquoise color at the end? Absolutely. Are you questioning my potioning skill? I'm just worried that much like I have almost most potions in the past, I could be botching the game of wizard chess I'm playing with Professor McGonagall. I just don't want to disappoint her in the game or the presentation. What Minerva McGonagall respects more than anything is people who don't quit. She and I have that in common. I see that, Professor. She deserves to be properly honored at the Teacher Appreciation Feast, unless you fail her by doing so. Is that what you are, Ray? A failure? No way! I'm a winner, Professor Snape. I'll do my best for Professor McGonagall at the presentation. Trust me on this. And in our chess class game, that remains to be seen. But in the meantime, may I suggest you stop whining and wallowing and rise to the occasion, else you disappoint us all at the Teacher Appreciation celebration. Well, that sounded like a threat. Professor Snape can just be a big gruff, but maybe you can use his words to embolden you to do your best in the presentation, as well as in the wizard chess game. Playing should be fun, not scary. You are right, it is fun. I'm lucky to even get to play with Professor McGonagall. No other student has that chance. Exactly, I bet Professor McGonagall believes in you. And I just thought of someone I believe in who could have the answers I need. Who? The headmaster. I'm headed to see Professor Dumbledore next. Oh yeah. The next quest, Professor Dumbledore's office. So here we go to the West Towers and to his office. Sabatil Lemon. Thank you for agreeing to see me on short notice, Headmaster. Your note came at an opportune time. I have been meaning to call you in myself. Oh, really? I have been hearing interesting rumors about you and your activities lately, and I have some opinions about them. Activities, sir? Yes, you have been very busy, so I felt it was time we talked. Do you have any idea what about? Maybe about McGonagall's research? Is it about my research on Professor McGonagall? Indeed it is. Brilliant, because that's exactly why I asked to speak with you. I'm glad to hear it. Proceed. I have been thinking that to really honor Professor McGonagall, that I needed to talk to the people who knew her best, so I have been interviewing all her peers. I admit I have heard about your pursuit of information, and I am happy to hear you have been doing your homework. It's why I wanted to call you here as well to commend you. I'm glad because as her master you are at the top of the list. After all, you have known her the longest. It's true, I do have a unique insight into Professor McGonagall, and aside from having the privilege to work with her these many years, I also had the honor of teaching her in her own time as a student. I have heard so many great and interesting things about Professor so far, but I really want to know what makes her special to you, Headmaster. Then let's begin. Helping you to further appreciate Professor McGonagall would be my pleasure. Oh yeah. अब चलो प्रोफेसर डम्बलडोर से इंटरव्यू करते हैं 3 आवर का इंटरव्यू So as you can see, I am at no shortage of qualities to extol about the subject of your presentation. And so, as we discussed, not only is she wise and a master of wizard chess, but it has been most satisfying to see her grow in a master of magic as well. Did you always know she was going to join the staff in Hogwarts? Actually, it was her second job. Though I have to admit, I was relieved she chose to call us here when she chose to leave Ministry of Magic. Professor McGonagall was in Ministry of Magic for a time after. Yes, she did, yes. I bet a lot of people are glad she made the decision to come here and teach. Indeed, Professor McGonagall is dedicated, but possibly my favorite thing about her is how trustworthy she is. She would never let down her colleagues or any of the students at Hogwarts. In fact, Professor McGonagall is a person I would entrust Hogwarts to in my absence. Professor McGonagall would be brilliant, of course, but I hope that day never comes, sir. But sadly it will. I assure you that it has and it will be again. Oh, but Professor McGonagall has the strength to handle whatever comes her way. She has my complete trust and my faith. I definitely don't want to disappoint Professor McGonagall at the celebration. You won't if you have faith and trust in your teacher as well. As I said, she won't let you down, as I expect you won't either. Thank you, Headmaster. Good luck in your presentation and in your wizard chess game. You would have to be quite the player to best your professor. Yeah, you're right, I'm sure. But for now, I need to decide on my next move and bring it back to Professor McGonagall. It's time for our next interview. Let's go play chess with McGonagall. This game has gotten quite exciting, Professor. You are definitely offering me a challenge. This is the intention. Nothing in life worth earning comes easily. It certainly sounds that way, and you clearly worked hard throughout your career. In fact, the Headmaster thinks of you as a master of magic. From Dumbledore, that's quite a compliment, as he is one of the most skilled wizards of our time. Sometimes I wonder if I will ever be that skilled too, or if I have what it takes. To wonder is to waste time. The answer is within you, so let's have it. What do you think is required to become a master of magic? I think it's hard work. I expect it takes hard work, but I'm confident I can become a master of magic if I work as hard as you. Partly because I take my studies seriously, Professor, just as you did. You teachers will appreciate that. I will take that to heart, Professor. Anything is possible, but one doesn't become versed in the magical arts overnight. You still have a long way ahead and much to learn, I know. And I have to say, it has been fascinating learning more about you, Professor. For instance, I didn't know you had a Muggle parent. Does that qualify as fascinating? It is simply a fact. Well, then let's talk about your student achievement. I was so impressed to hear you were a prefect, a head girl, and so you played Quidditch in a famous match between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Is there a question in the midst of all this rambling? I guess I'm just curious to hear more about them right from the hippogriff's mouth. If you think it will be helpful for your presentation, we can discuss this all in greater depth as we play. I would love to hear anything more you have to add. So, let's get details from Professor Mcgonnagall in 3 hours' time. Thanks, Professor. Hearing your thoughts on what I have learned so far is very helpful. And you still have more questions, I assume? Actually, there was one fact I learned while talking to Professor Dumbledore that surprised me. Well, are you going to ask about it promptly or leave it hanging there for me to wonder about? I guess I was surprised to hear you came to Hogwarts after working in the Ministry of Magic. And I'm wondering, was working there part of your long-term plan? Is that what you think, that my life has always been according to plan? Well, it's just that you seem to be successful at everything you set your mind to. Even your chess moves during this game has been so methodical and strategic. Oh, you do still have much to learn about the journey of life. So leaving the ministry isn't something you anticipated. It's hardly a sordid story. I worked there for a year, then made a choice to be an instructor. I guess I wondered if there was anything. Perhaps our choices can affect who we are. Every move you make during our chess game has ramifications, and the choices you make very soon will determine what you will say at your presentation and how I will be presented. Until then, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you are now in check. Oh no, don't fret, the game isn't over yet. Though you will have to wait until our final chess session to see if you will be the victor in this game. Do well in your teacher appreciation presentation, and then we will return to Wizard Chess. Part 3 is complete, guys. Part 4. So let's go. Let's talk to Hagrid. I believe I will have an even deeper appreciation of our students after their presentations. I'm nervous about my presentation. What if everyone gets upset that I interview Professor Sprout and Hagrid? I don't think so. I'm nervous about my presentation at the teacher appreciation celebration. Thanks for meeting me, Hagrid. I'm quite happy to be here, though I'm not sure why. Yeah, why did you want to see us, Ray? I have places to be and spells to learn. I have a feeling this has something to do with the teacher appreciation celebration. Our presentations are coming up quickly. You're right, Penny. I'm trying to figure out what's most important to say about Professor Mcgonnagall, and wanted to go over what I have learned so far and get your opinions on them. Sounds brilliant. I would love to hear. I'm not sure you would agree with my opinion. I want to hear from people and will approach their presentation differently, Merula. Then I guess it makes perfect sense that I'm here. But what did you need me for then? You're actually part of the faculty, Hagrid, so of course your opinion matters. sound reasoning, I will be happy to give you my opinion then as well.
Oh!
Perfect. Let's discuss. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.